Welcome to the Under Mike Show with recurring permanent guest at the Real S Cav, Sammy C, or Mr. fucking XFL. How you doing?
You better believe it. I have never lost a game in the new XFL. The old one I definitely have, but the new one, baby. Whew, how about that? We'll get into that.
That was a nice one.
Yeah,
that was a nice one. The DC Defenders, and you were all over that.
Yeah, we can chop it. This is the review from last week, basically. XFL, the Defenders. I really liked it. It was a 2-unit play, rare for me. 2-unit play brings my season record to 17-11 plus 9.2 units. But hey, I told you, I saw, there's a Yahoo national columnist saying, he's going against the Defenders because how good the offense was on the other side and the run and shoot. And hey, that offense put up yardage. I'll give them that. They moved the ball, but Greg Williams, aggressive defense, defensive touchdown, another takeaway that set up a touchdown. And then when it looked like all was lost, Greg Williams, aggressive D, forces a turnover at the goal line. Defense wins championships and bets.
Yeah, that was nice. And you said about the Yahoo, and then you saw that come out. The line actually jumped the wrong way from when we had our video.
It kept creeping. It went from it was -1, 1.5 when we gave it out. Then passing 0 though. I mean, there's not a lot of value from 1.5 one way to the other. It went all the way out. I saw 2. It didn't matter. You could have bet them. If you needed to -3, which it never obviously was, but our line was fine. We were the winning side, and the defense was the difference, like we thought. So we'll take that. We'll start the season undefeated, and we'll move on to week 2. It's there'll be a lot of reactions, a lot of overreactions, and what do you got in terms of any type of weather outlook?
Yeah, so we got 4 games that are going to be all outdoors this week. We have a Thursday night game, which is tomorrow already. That's in Seattle. For Seattle, it's going to be dry. It's going to be a little bit colder than usual, I think. Probably in the 30s by game time, but no real major effects for the weather on that one. Not too much wind or anything, and that's in the Seahawks stadium, right? I think it is.
Yeah, I believe it's definitely outdoors. It's they want the elements, and they've got a good fan base there. It's at Lumen Field, so that's where the Seahawks play as well, I believe. It's a
bigger stadium. Obviously, if the weather's bad enough, it can affect things, but
the Sounders play there as well, their soccer team. So that line is Seattle, and these are DraftKings lines I'll use for when we're just talking about the game. Seattle -3.5 and over under 36.5.
Okay, yeah. So nothing really to do there. We got 3 other games. One is a Saturday game in Vegas. And we are watching the system there. There is going to be some rain. It's going to be cold for Vegas. I think you might be somewhere near there.
I'll be there, and shoot me a message. I'll give you a live update of what the weather's doing, what it feels like, and we might get. Hey, that's why you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel in case any crazy videos drop, live videos, some shorts, and definitely follow at UnderMike626 on Twitter, because he will put out our plays that come out after the video, if there are any, and the ones where, he wants you to grab the line right away before it moves. So
that's it. Yeah, the forecast, they're calling for rain during the day on Saturday. 15-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be, 50. It's going to probably dip down into the 40s. The game time, it's a 4 p.m. local time start, and it looks like it should be wrapping up by about that time. We're still a few days out, so that's something. If the timing changes a little bit for the storm, that could make a difference as whether I play it or not. But that'll definitely be good having you there. Firsthand update from
live weather reports.
from Vegas. I don't know if you'll have any money left at the time. Or...
Well, Mike, it's dry here in the casino, and I'm down about 1,000.
Hey, I'll take it. But that's good though. Yeah, so that we'll keep you updated on that one.
That's 3, Vegas 3, and 36.5 is the total there right now.
Yep. Next, we have the Orlando game. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. local time. Weather looks beautiful. 80s, not much wind. Should probably be there instead of Vegas.
Yeah. If I went there, it would be a hurricane in February. It's San Antonio -3 and 38.5 on that game.
Yeah. So lastly, we have Houston, Arlington at Houston, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. That would, I guess, be 6 p.m. Houston time, I think.
70. Yeah, it should be 6 Houston. Yep.
So we're gonna have some wins with this one, and that's a big thing I look for. They're calling right now 15 to 20 miles per hour during the day and at night. So it seems like it's going to be pretty much a good bet that there is going to be some win for this one. And I like that. I'm gonna take this under, and I know it is a pretty high scoring team. I think Houston scored 33 points the first week, but it was Orlando that was pretty abysmal. Not the best offensive showing. So I think the line maybe it reflects that a little bit. 40.5. We have it at 40 at DK, 40.5 at Barstool. I saw 39.5 on a couple sites, but yeah, let's stick to the 40.5. I'm going to take as my first official weather play for the XFL.
He's on the board, and we'll do 40.5, and we'll line it at -119. So if we lose, it's -1.19 units. If you don't like laying the extra juice, that's understandable. You can get 40 at -110 at DraftKings. Houston throws the ball all over the field, so wind should theoretically affect their offense a little bit, and they should see a little bit more resistance maybe than they did against Orlando. Because I'm hoping Orlando was as bad as advertised, because while the Houston under is your pick, my pick is the San Antonio Brahmas.
The Brahmas.
Yep, -3. I'm giving it out here on MGM, and the reason I'm giving MGM here is when I looked earlier today, the Brahmas were -115 on DraftKings. So MGM had -110. So giving you the best spot to get it, take the -110, the Brahmas. Here's my thoughts. Orlando week 1, they looked like dog shit. And there's no getting around that. Their quarterback situation is a mess. Paxton Lynch, the former, I believe, first-round draft pick in the NFL, played with the Broncos. He started. He got pulled as usual. They put in Quentin Dormandy, who played all right. He played in the MAC in college. There's talks that former Florida State quarterback DeAndre Francois will be ready to go this week. So that's another option. They really just don't know what they're doing at quarterback. And in football, we know like that's
pretty important.
What it comes down to. And the Brahmas are coming off the most heartbreaking loss in the XFL. Maybe the only, I mean, there were a couple, but they were up 15-3 late and had, I believe it was St. Louis score a 9-pointer, a 6-point touchdown, plus the 3-point conversion of 15-12. And then they converted the 4th or 15 do or die onside kick, and they went right down and scored. So I think the Brahmas are going to be motivated to come out, get that win to make up for that loss, and they're going against the right team to do it. So Brahmas -3 is my pick there. And I liked how their running backs looked last week as well. So that's my official pick.
That's 1 unit.
That's 1 unit. Yeah, last week was 2. I really like that. So this week we'll play 1. Now, I said last week I would talk a little bit more about DraftKings XFL game. Last week, I told you guys Max Borgai was a really solid pick. I know he was owning a fair fairly high amount. I mean, it might have been, depending on what you were in, 30, 40%, but 4,500 and he scored 17 points. So that was one of my guys last week. I played a couple of the $300,000 tournament. It was like $12 or $15 entry. I actually missed cashing on the last game of the week. Jordan Teamu, the quarterback that I used, he didn't do anything, killed me, but he also came in to kneel out the ball at the end. And those negative yards, I was on the bubble, didn't cash. So let's get to this week. What I'll be doing each week is giving out a DFS XFL lock and a DFS difference maker. The lock could skew a little bit to higher ownership, I feel, and the difference maker, I'm hoping will have a little bit lower ownership. And I'm also going to provide a pivot in each category in case you definitely want to go with somebody that has upside with a lower ownership. So our first one here, I have Brandon Silvers. And I think it's Silvers. I should double check because I always say his name wrong when I'm talking about it in person because it's so close to Brandon Slivers. But I'm 99% sure it's Brandon Silvers. But 8,600 is his cost. So he's not cheap. He's not the most expensive quarterback, but I think you can lock him in at that. Okay, so yes, I'm looking at Brandon Silvers, Houston Roughnecks, 42 attempts he had the other week. He did come out for a couple snaps for Cole McDonald to come in, who ran the ball. He's going to be like their designated runner, but this is a pass first team. And Silvers is going to get pretty much all of the passing work, and that's not a lock for most teams in this league. A lot of the quarterback spots are kind of up for grabs still. So I like Brandon Silvers at 8,600. He's at home for Houston. Sorry, under Mike. I know you're taking under this game. Hey, he could have another real good week. They could score 30, and it could go under. So there's possibilities there, but I always try not to cloud my betting picks and my DFS picks mix up. So I'm taking Brandon Silvers. I think he's in a good spot there. Now, if we are looking at a way not to take Mr. Silvers or just to make a, I would say, lower owned pivot play, Drew Plitt would be the choice for me. Plitt played in the MAC in college when he went to Ball State, and he gives you a little bit of a extra dimension at quarterback. You can get rushing yards from him. So, and the fact that they went with him at quarterback, I feel was a pretty big deal because they had other options that are more, we'll say, well known. So he was 19 to 25, 172 yards, and he rushed for 16 on 5 carries. So I think he's a great pivot. He's not nearly as safe as Silvers, but he's a little bit cheaper, and I think could go off. So Drew Plitt will be the pivot play.
Okay.
Now flipping to the difference maker, I have it up there. This is I'm looking at the running back spot here this week. Kalen Ballage cost 7,100. He was a workhorse last week. He had 24 rushes, 84 yards, 4 targets in the passing game, caught 3, 13 yards. So I think, again, I really like him, and he was getting a lot of usage. They were a ground first team. So again, they're going to run the ball, which again plays in our favor. And we already know in Ballage's specialty in the NFL was more of his pass catching game. So we know he will be involved there. Now, granted, he only had 84 yards on 24 carries. People are like, it's less than 4 yards a carry, but just him getting that much work, projects out and is a pretty good sign. So I like that there. He is on my pick, the Brahmas. So it's a double whammy potential there. And my pivot play is actually on the same team. It's Jacques Patrick. I don't know how he says it, but he's only 5,900. And you're saying, well, he's on the same team. If you like Ballage so much, how could you pivot to Patrick? Well, it's the XFL. We really don't know what's going to happen week to week with some of the usage. Again, there's a $200,000 tournament. It kicks off Thursday night, 50,000 the first. Maybe more people will be on Ballage than I like, and Patrick comes in at 5% and he gets a lot of the work. The reason I like him is even though Ballage got 24 carries, Patrick still got 10 last week, and he got a pass as well for 9 yards. So maybe Patrick gets hot, they ride that hot hand, and now you got a guy at 3% ownership that goes off. So that's my pivot. Those are the DFS picks for this week in the XFL. Just for everybody to recap, so far, and this is since we've started the show, the Twitter account, everything, Mike's 24-9, which is plus 14.1 units. Said earlier, my record, you saw it, plus 9.2 units. 23.3 units, the show and everything is up, and that's the official count. So, I mean, even if you're $100 better, that's a nice, that's $2,330. Even if you're a $20 better, I mean, you're up over $400, which betting $20 a game or $20 a wager is a great run. So we hope to have some fun with the picks. The weather aspect, obviously it's not going to be as plentiful for Mike with college and pro done, but he's found an angle this week and I like it. So, and we're going to continue to put out the videos, and we're going to work on putting some shorts up. Mike might be wearing shorts. I see he's got a tank top on.
It's supposed to be 70 here tomorrow. So
yeah. It'll be, when I leave out of Baltimore, it'll be like 74, and I'll get to Vegas, it'll be like 41. So it makes sense, right? That's
Sam in a nutshell, right?
And these folks are riding with me.
But it's all good. The weather, that says one thing. It's getting close to spring. There's a lot of changing weather, which means a lot of wind and storms. So even if there's only 4 games a week, you might get 1 or 2 with some weather like this week. I'll keep everyone posted on the Vegas and any updates from Sam while he's there with that game. But for now, that's all I got.
Same here. Nothing else.
All right. Safe travels.
Yep. I'll keep you updated. Later.
All right. See you.